We keep saying how familiarity in Kevin Stefanski's system and with his teammates will help Deshaun Watson this year. Dan Orlovsky from ESPN and the NFL Live show gives us a visual example, kind of what we're talking about there.
I want everyone to pay attention to the slot receiver down here. We call this 1st and 10. We would call this Gotti at times. It is a quick little out route. If you get soft coverage, you can see the corners off, and they're going to play single high defense, meaning that corner is going to bail. This is an easy throw if that defender plays an inside leverage. Now watch how fast Deshaun plays here. He catches this snap and immediately brings his eyes there. His eyes are no longer, what did you just say? They're off of it, right?
Yeah.
He's here. This guy is just running out of his cut. Look at all the green grass down here.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Let's get that completion. Now, everything is butterfly connected, right? I'll bring it back to the start because you say, I don't want to throw the out. Fine, okay, then now this is what happens. It's man-to-man coverage. This defender is going to widen with the back on his swing out, okay? This defender is going to have the tight end in man-to-man coverage, so he's going to widen. So what happens is, I've built the play to give you a completion, you don't take it. But then I've also taken these defenders and brought them out of the middle of the field, and what I love is, they're then going to take this receiver and wrap in. So I've vacated the middle of the field with bodies. You've got an answer. Now there's one bad guy left. This is called a kind of a hole defender, a plug defender. He's your responsibility as the quarterback. Now Deshaun brings his eyes so quickly here that this defender sits there and goes, oh, you're not throwing that out route. I can hang in the middle of the field. The reality, and Tim knows this, is the ball should be out of Deshaun's hands right now throwing that in route. That in route is there. If you have this defender just one step that way to his left, you're going to cut an in route with a vacated middle of the field. Goodness gracious, that's not even a first down. That might be a chunk throw.
With that, let's welcome in Tim Bielik from cleveland.com. Tim, I thought that was really kind of what we've been talking about with Deshaun Watson being comfortable. One of the things he does really well when he's comfortable, he processes things very quickly, just incredibly fast. And that he wasn't able to do that last year. New teammates, new system.
Yeah, and I think you also have to include that in addition to the fact that he had the 700 days of rest. That's what everybody talks about is, 700 days since he last played a football game, before he came back for the Browns in that game against Houston. So that's obviously 2 years of not playing a full speed live action NFL regular season game. That's going to take a toll on anybody mentally as far as getting up to speed. But you throw that in there with the fact that, that was the first time, those 6 games, first time he worked with those receivers in live action, worked in Kevin Stefanski's offense in live action. And you can kind of see why, you kind of understand why he struggled a little bit. There's a lot of factors that go into, why he wasn't quite what he needed to be and what quite everybody thought he was expected to be. So, familiarity makes things easier. It makes things more second nature for especially quarterback when he doesn't need to be thinking. He needs to be reacting. He needs to be reading and reacting, seeing what's out in front of him, and then just going with what's open, going with the best possible play and making it. And, when you run enough plays to the point where they're second nature, that becomes easier for you. And with Deshaun Watson, really, only 6 games, barely working with those receivers outside of, off-season, partial off-season work, training camp, and those situations before suspension. Those opportunities weren't there that are now going to be there this year for him going in with the off-season program they've already had and now going into training camp.
Yeah, and it should get better and better without question.